Creamer on the show. So she's in a hot seat. All right, we get ready to start.
You are now tuned in to Today with Pastor Jay on WNZF News Radio, where we discuss inspiring and informative news. And now here's your host, Pastor Jerlyn Denny.
Good morning, wake up, good morning, and welcome to Today with Pastor Jay on WNZF News Radio. I am your host, Pastor Jerlyn Denny. Family, something significant is happening right here in Flagler County. We're talking about Google Sol transatlantic cable landing at Flagler Beach, part of a much larger artificial intelligence infrastructure build out happening across America. Most people have heard about it. Most people have not. Very few understand what it really is about. So today we're going to slow down just a little bit, make it plain, and ask the questions that citizens deserve answers to. My guest this morning is Amy Creamer. She is the RNC National Committee woman for the state of Florida. Of course, she's been nationally recognized conservative leader and grassroots organizer. She's a steadfast ally to President Donald J. Trump and co-founded Great America PAC, the largest grassroots organization supporting him in 2016, and later co-founded Women for Trump to mobilize women nationwide. She's done amazing things, but guess what? She's coming to Flagler County next week. That's March the 5th. Is it the 5th?
March the 5th.
March the 5th. Amy's coming to Flagler County March the 5th. Our theme verse this morning is Proverbs 22:3 that says, the prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty. Amy, welcome to Today with Pastor Jay.
Thank you so much for having me on and introducing me. I'm the National Committee woman for Georgia, not Florida, but I'm in Florida right now. So, but I'm excited to be here and talk about why I'm coming to Flagler and what's going on there in your county.
Yeah, so before we get into policy, let's just define terms. When people hear AI, they think apps and convenience. But what are they missing about the infrastructure powering big AI right now?
So artificial AI is artificial intelligence. And full disclosure off the bat, I am not a tech person, never have been, never will be. I am a mom who is simply concerned about my country and things that are going on here. And this is one of the issues. I think it's probably the most important issue of our time. Reining in big AI is what we're calling it. But artificial intelligence, I want to be clear, I'm not against AI. AI does good things. I mean, I use AI every day with ChatGPT and other things. Most people do. But AI goes well beyond just these chat bots that we're using online, and they are heading towards something. There's all different levels of artificial intelligence. And like I said, I'm not a tech person, but what they're doing is they're going for super intelligence. And super intelligence is you have this AI that is smarter than all humans combined. And it's very scary. There's no there's no laws or regulations around these companies. They're being controlled by a handful of billionaire oligarchs. And I'll just put it to you this way. A year ago, these companies were going in and building these data centers across the country. They were buying up the land, getting the permits, and starting to build. Right now, there is a massive movement to push back on the data centers and stop some of the data centers because the people have woken up to what's going on with it. And the key to the data centers is that the data centers are it's essentially the manufacturer economy of AI. They need these data centers to continue to develop the AI. And so what's happening now is these companies are going in, they're hiding behind NDAs and shell companies. You don't even know who the end user is. Right down in South Florida and Palm Beach County, there's this huge Project Tango, huge data center there, hyperscale data center. And they don't even know who the end user is because in these companies, they're hiding it because they know they're going to get pushback from the people. And it's about our resources. It's about our land, our water, how it affects our kids and when they're built close to schools. It is such a major issue going on in this country. And so now they're spending an enormous amount of money Geraldine, they're basically trying to buy these politicians to skirt around regulations. And why we're here in Florida is because Governor DeSantis has a Florida Bill of Rights, AI Bill of Rights, to protect the kids, the land, your resources. He's doing amazing things on it, and your legislature's in session right now, and we want to get this. We want to get this passed because it would be a great launching point for a federal AI Bill of Rights. But Flagler County has a transatlantic fiber optic cable coming in. It's called Google Soul. And it's supposed to land at Flagler Beach in the first quarter of 2027, from my understanding. And so it's coming right there in your backyard.
Let's talk about this high capacity fiber optic submarine cable, because this is a massive thing and it takes a lot of power, in my understanding, a lot of water, and by it being set to land, most residents, don't know about what's going on. This is not primarily for residential internet speed, correct?
No,
So explain why this high capacity submarine cable is actually what it's actually designed to support.
So these cables and these buildings, that these data centers and whatnot, are being used to develop the artificial intelligence. And there's chips, computers. They're massive. They're absolutely massive. And there's a race by all these companies to get to super intelligence, to the super intelligence level first. But they need the infrastructure.
Mhm.
They need these cables. They need these data centers and whatnot in order to continue to develop the AI, the artificial intelligence, to the level that they're trying to get to. So it is not for let's be clear. This is not for the everyday internet user. When you're on your computer, you're on your phone at home, that's not the kind of data that's being dealt with in these facilities.
From what it sounds like to me, that they're trying to build Skynet.
Yes.
Go back to, the movies, right? With Arnold Schwarzenegger and everything that's happening. This sounds to me that it's the beginning of the end for us to be taken over by artificial intelligence. Now, I am not a conspiracy theorist. I like my action movies. Don't get me wrong. But this is happening at record speed all over, and all over the country, not just here. These massive data centers and fiber optic systems are being constructed at an unprecedented speed. These facilities are factories of artificial intelligence, and they power cloud computing, machine learning, and advanced AI models that we have no idea. And most Americans, now I'm not anti-technology, but this is about pro-awareness, because this infrastructure is being built before the public fully understands it, when citizens must learn in it. So this isn't just a cable, Amy. How is this going to impact the resources for Flagler County? Let's talk about Flagler. What is it going to draw? We already have a water problem in most of the county. So now what?
Well, Florida in general is in drought, from what I have been reading. And that is one of the concerns. Humans can't live without water, right? Humans developed this country. We built this nation. We can't live without water. We were not built on algorithms or machines. And what they're doing is Florida is one of the key states, okay? Florida is a target state because of the large size of your congressional delegation and because of the natural resources you have here and the land that is available. So there is an eye upon Florida to put some of this infrastructure in place here, where they can get it in. And people aren't aware of it, like you said. And I want to be clear. I'm not anti-AI. I'm not against, technology. Technology has done amazing things. Just you and I sitting here talking right now on this computer, that's technology. It has done amazing things. But the problem is that what they are doing now, for instance, and I'm not an engineer, actually. if my husband were here, he could tell you all the specifics about this fiber optic cable because he's an electrical engineer and this is what he does is fiber optics. But I'm not an engineer. I tell him all the time, you got to dumb it down to mom level or Amy level. But this is the thing. Right here in Florida, there was a 14-year-old young boy, a teenager, that took his own life because he was encouraged by a chatbot. And he is one of several that we know about. And it's horrific that any child would lose their life. But this is the worst part of it. Thank God these parents have had the courage to speak out, right? Because I can't imagine the grief of losing a teenager and then to find out you lose your teenager because
of an AI chatbot.
Right, because he was sexually groomed and encouraged by this chatbot to take his own life. And so the grief and the shame that a parent must feel, but there are a number of parents that have come forward. But this is the thing, Geraldine, is there's no regulations requiring these tech companies to report this when this kind of stuff happens. There's no laws, there's no regulations. And just like with, hospitals, the airline industry, pharmaceutical companies, if there are incidents, there are federal regulations and state regulations that they are required to report the incident. There's nothing like that around these big tech companies, and they are trying to, like I said, bypass regulation by buying politicians. And so this affects Flagler because, the instance of what I just told you, this 14-year-old young man, Sewell, it happened right here in Orlando. So it's right in your backyard and it's happening. And we don't know how many, I'm sure there are others. We only know of a few of them, but the American people need to wake up to this because this is the thing. I didn't vote for this. I don't think you voted for this. We have no say in any of this. And I'm not sure of the exact process of what's happened with Google Soul and your county commission and how they got the permitting and whatnot. And I don't know what stage it's in. But the people need to be aware of why these things are coming into their communities and being built here, and actually that it's not for the end user.
All right, guys, we got to take a break. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. You are listening to Today with Pastor J. Can you get me Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice that says, "I'll be back"? I'm going to use that on one of my breaks. And then I think there was a theme song, I, Robot, with Will Smith. Yeah. Oh, that is how much time I have, so I can kind of. Mark's like, don't be putting me in on this. Guys, y'all hear this stuff? This is crazy. Coming right here to Flagler.
It is crazy.
It is crazy. I'll be back. I feel like I'm in a Terminator. I feel like I'm in a Terminator movie. So I'm going to use that when I cut for my next break.
Okay.
I'm talking to my engineer over here.
Oh, okay.
I guess you're the producer, actually. And then is there a theme song to iRobot?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Is there a theme song to the Terminator movie? It just came to me. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it when we come in from the break. I'll just use that for all my breaks from here on out because it's kind of cute. Okay.
With the music or without?
Let's do the music a little bit and then I'll let you play that. Okay. All right, ready? Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Today with Pastor J. And I did say before the break that
I'll be back.
I did say I'll be back. Well, that was Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice in the movie Terminator. And he kept saying it over and over again that he'll be back. And this whole movie was about Skynet. And I feel like I'm in a Skynet movie. I'm not joking. So, Amy, thank you so much for being my guest. As I said, she is the RNC National Committee Woman for the state of Georgia. She's coming to Flagler County on March the 6th, 6:30 p.m., the Rock Transformation Center, 2200 North State Street, to talk about these big AI data centers that's going up. And Flagler County is part of them. So, Amy, one of the concerns that I'm hearing is speed. These projects are moving quickly, sometimes before the public fully understands them. Why the rush? Why are they hurrying up trying to put these things in?
Because the quickest thing that I can think of to equate it to, it's like when a news story breaks, everybody wants to be first. Doesn't matter if you're accurate, right? You just got to be first. You got to be the first one to post that news story. And these these big tech, big AI companies, they want to be first. They want to be first, the first ones to reach super intelligence. And they need these data centers, these massive undersea pipelines for cloud computing and moving large amounts of data. And that's it in a nutshell. It's all about money at the end of the day, right?
I'm wondering if get this now, if AI is suggesting and pushing AI expansion, like maybe CEOs or government officials, they're working on their computer, asking certain questions, thinking about constructing data centers, and AI is saying, yeah, you need to do this today. I mean, I know that sounds a little far-fetched, but not necessarily, because why not expand? We're building something around the state of Florida, around the nation. We're also hearing concerns that laws could be pushed to override local communities who may want more scrutiny. Are you seeing a national pattern of centralizing authority over AI infrastructure?
So President Trump he announced in his State of the Union this past week that he has come to an agreement, and he's going to have these big tech leaders at the White House this week. He's signing an executive order, I believe, that these companies have to build their own power plants. They have to come up with their own power plants. And the methods of power because what's happening is the power utility rates are going through the roof all across the country. Here in Georgia, since 2023, we've had 6 rate increases. Now, also in Georgia, I can tell you specifically that we've given tax rebates to these big AI companies. Right now, from 2018 when it started to 2025, $1.5 billion in tax revenue that is foregone for the state of Georgia. When that sunsets in 2028, the contracts that are already done, it will be closer to $4 billion. $4 billion of tax revenue for the state of Georgia going to these are the wealthiest companies in the world. These companies have unlimited money. They don't need our money. And so think about it. That money could be go into education, to rural hospitals. I mean, infrastructure, our roads, our bridges. And so there's actually in Georgia right now, there is a bill, I believe, in the Senate to end that program. I don't know specifically what's been done here in Florida, but I do know that there are backroom deals going on with these developers and county commissioners and mayors and whatnot. Just earlier this week, I was in Palm Beach. There's a huge Project Tango going on down there. And, it's like a half a mile to a school. And that's another issue with it, Geraldine, is not just the power it consumes, and they consume
and the water,
massive amounts of power, massive amounts of water. And now there have been a couple studies that have just come out within the past week that people that live close to these data centers are suffering. There have been reported deaths, cancer from them. And then already. And the loud noise that comes from these data centers, you can hear from far away, they say. So, there's a number of issues with it. And this is the thing. When the Palm Beach one was permitted, they bought the land, and I think it was permitted in 2016. They're now trying to get an expansion. When it was permitted in 2016, it was not a data center. It was not a data center.
Oh, so they just changed their mind.
Yeah. So and they're getting away with it, right? I mean, what are they doing? They're donating to politicians who are sympathetic to their cause. And then they expect these politicians, these elected officials to vote, to go light on the regulations. And the only way we can stop this is by the American people rising up and saying, no, this is our land, our resources, our country. We have to have a say in this. And as far as the artificial intelligence, there needs to be guardrails around it. It's a national security issue too, right? What if one of these AIs get out of the lab, escapes the lab? And yes, we need to stay ahead of China. America wants to be the leader, right? But we also have to be smart about this, because you've mentioned the Terminator, Skynet. We don't need a real life Skynet going on in this country. It is moving at lightning speed. I think just this past week, Sam Altman, maybe it was one of the other CEOs said it could be 2 years before we reach super intelligence. So
let's talk about proposed legislation. Governor Ron DeSantis has proposed significant AI related legislation in Florida, and it's been drawing a lot of attention in Tallahassee. So he has called for a statewide AI Bill of Rights intended to protect Floridians from certain risks associated with AI technology. And the proposal includes protections on things like consumer data privacy, requiring notice when interacting with AI systems, parental controls, and oversight for children's use of AI, restricting AI's use of a person's name, image, or likeness without consent, limiting AI use in healthcare or insurance claims unless properly reviewed, and other safeguards to ensure data security and consent. So this broader Bill of Rights framework was announced by his office late last year, and is part of a push to channel AI in ways he says will benefit people and protect them rather than allow unregulated expansion. However, this Bill of Rights has been facing hurdles. Right here in Florida, been facing hurdles. It has advanced some in the Senate committees, but has not yet passed both chambers. And, House leaders have been more cautious about state level AI oversight versus the federal oversight. But here we are, while they're figuring it out in Tallahassee, locally here in Flagler County, it seems like this stuff is moving forward without anyone thinking about the drain on the resources. And when I say not anyone, I'm sure there are people that are concerned. So how does the voter who feels like they don't have the resources to push back against big tech, what do they leverage, and what do the average voter still hold?
So I think that the voters, they have power. And when we all speak together, usually they hear us. So it is being held up. It's House Bill 1395, and it's being held up in the House by the Florida House Speaker, Danny Perez. And let's just say that it's being done for political reasons. It's infuriating to me, because why would you not do something to protect your children? Like if Congress comes out with a AI Bill of Rights, and gets the legislation done and whatnot for a federal level, then that's great, right? And then we can look at the federal laws. It would be easier than to do a patchwork. But I don't know anybody that has ever said, I'm going to sit back and do nothing to protect the children and wait on Congress. That is just absurd. And for Speaker Perez, and if there's a handful of others that are saying, no, we're not moving this because, their political aspirations, that is just disgusting in and of itself. And he needs to hear from the voters in Flagler County. They need to call him, tweet at him, put things on Facebook, call him out on this, and tell him they want this House Bill 1395 passed. We are going to hold a press conference in Tallahassee on Tuesday at 12:30 to call on the speaker to move this legislation and get it through the legislature. I can tell you it is moving through the Senate. Your governor is amazing on this. He's not backing down. As he said, there's nothing more important than our children. And this is states' rights. This is federalism. The 10th Amendment allows us to do this. And so that is what people can do, is reach out and call your representative, your senator, and tell them to pass it, and do the same thing on a federal level. We need to regulate these companies and big AI.
Well, Amy, I just want to thank you so very much for putting humans first. And you've built your career around grassroots organizing, and I appreciate you coming to the great state of Florida to push it here. I want to remind everyone on March the 5th at 6:30 p.m. at the Rock Transformation Center, 2200 North State Street, Bunnell. That's on US 1. Come out. Amy's going to be here. She's going to talk more about it. Bring your questions. Bring everything that you have, and she absolutely will engage with you. Hey guys, we know that technology is going to advance and AI will expand. But the question is not whether progress happens. The question is whether citizens remain part of the process. Communities deserve transparency, family deserves safeguards, children deserve protection, and voters deserve a voice. So putting humans first doesn't mean rejecting innovation. So you know what I say, guys? Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow's not promised. What are you going to do today? Today, you are going to come to the AI Town Hall in Flagler County, maybe not today, but on March the 5th at 2200 North State Street, Bunnell. Bunnell. If you forget all this, reach out to me, Pastor Jay. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You
All
are
right,
amazing.
guys. Yeah, no, you're amazing, and thank you so very much for bringing this to our attention, because a lot of time people don't even know, they didn't even realize what's happening, what's going on, and the stresses on us. So God
Right.
bless you. I'll see you Thursday.
Okay. Thank you, dear. Have a